Now we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots deep.
Guys, it's Emmy and welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing some jumping because basically the jumps have all been set out for a competition at the weekend. So we're gonna do a bit of jumping inside room. So basically,
and his new bit as well.
Yeah, and his new bit. So if any of you don't know and don't follow my Instagram, basically we've got him a new bit and he prefers it so much more. Literally, he just goes flying over the jumps. Well, he did when we tried him in it. So fingers crossed, today all goes very, very well. But what height do you think you're going to do? Do you think you're going to do maybe 70, 80?
Doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We don't care about height. Height doesn't care. We don't care about that. As long as he goes over the jumps and we're happy, right? That's it. Scuff your face. Scuff your face. Watch till you get all them spots all over your face. Nom nom. This is in. We just got the god. He's so muddy. So muddy. Oh my god, this is gonna take me ages. Absolute ages. This side's not too bad, but. So when we warm up, we always like to do a walk, trot and canter on both reins just to make sure he's fully warm. Obviously when you're doing flat work, I'd obviously do a lot more trot because you're not jumping and you're permanently doing flat work for the whole ride. And obviously when you do jump, you do slightly less. But it's still really important to make sure they're nice and warm. So the first thing we just did was obviously warm up, and then we just took him over a couple of cross poles. So this also helps gradually increase the height. So as you can see, we're just doing this on both reins. So the first time he was a bit unsure about it. Jasmine just gave him a little nudge and then he went straight over it. And then we did this twice on each rein, I think, and then put it up to an upright. And then went round on a 20-metre circle because this is really important for his balance so that he can jump when going round on a circle, and this also helps link jumps together. Then once we had worked on this green jump for a while on one rein, then we swapped back to the other rein and made sure we do everything on each rein. Then we moved on to a different jump, which was actually the red planks. So we just took the top plank off, and as you can see he was a bit hesitant towards it, but Jasmine just gave him a little nudge on and then just gave him a pat after once he had gone over it. And then once he gone over it once, he was so much more confident, and then I'm not sure if it was this time, I think he went over it 3 times and then we put the second plank up, and as you can see he just went flying over it. So he just needed the confidence from that first jump. We then did the double. As you can see he was a bit hesitant towards that as well because it has these really scary yellow like ladders underneath. But then we just took the pole down for the first time, and then as you can see every time he does it he gets more and more confident. He was only putting in, I think it was 1 stride he was putting in. I think so. Yeah, it was a 1-strided double. So he wasn't putting any silly little extra strides in or anything, which was great. So then once he's really confident, I then put the second pole up, and as you can see he was a bit unsure as the height had gone up, but by the second jump he was flying over it. Then we just linked a couple together, so the green one which he did first, and then round to this what we call the ash tires jump, and she hadn't jumped that, so the first time jumping there, and he went over it beautifully. As you can see he's slightly leaning out, so that's just something we're trying to really work on with his jumping at the moment, but that all comes from the flat work side of things, which we're also really working hard on. And then we just did the whole thing again, linking the green to the ash tyres. So where he's normally come out on a 20-metre circle, he was a bit unsure to then go into a double because he was on the wrong line. So we just came round again and he got a much better straight line. This was just due to ride error, and as you can see she had to ride him a bit harder into it just to give him the reassurance that it was all alright and that he could easily do it. And then I think we finished off with a course. So that was the green jump, round the ash tyres, through to the double, and then I think we also finished off with the planks. So when we're jumping, we like to focus on 4 or 5 jumps and not to overwhelm himself. So that's what we did, and we just worked on each jump individually and separately, and then we gradually just built a course out from it. And then she came round to the plank, so she got a bit of a dodgy line, so then she just came round again, and then when he went flying over them, and he was such a good boy and he did so well.